and then we will go to types of roots. Under the types of roots, we'll use the discriminant to explain them, and then we'll also see how it is shown graphically. It's very simple. And then we will look at sum and product of roots. Mind you, whatever topic we do here, I will not repeat when we resume in January. I will not repeat any topic that we have covered here. So one course rep was asking about the mates who will not be able to join. I said they can come later to check the recorded lesson. So, but it means that they will not partake or be part of the attendance, because it means they are not part of the class physically, but they can learn the whatever we are going to learn now by coming back to check the video. I will of course post the link in the group through one of your course reps after the class. Okay, and then we will now go into sum and product of the roots, and then we'll look at symmetric properties of quadratic equations, very important, or symmetric properties of quadratic roots actually. Okay, so let's begin with the first one, the introduction. So what is a quadratic equation? Very simple. So we all know what quadratic equations are. Mind you, also I'll be asking questions while we are learning, so, and I'll be taking notes of responses as well. So a quadratic equation is simply an equation that has a degree of 2 for the unknown. Now we have different types of equation. It's actually a type of equation, and I'm going to lay a small background here. We have different types of equations in terms of the number of terms they contain, and that those under that we have what we call monomial. We have what we call monomials. And what are monomials? Monomials are equations that contain only one term. That's expressions that mathematical expressions that contain only one term. For instance, if I write 2x, 2x is a monomial. If I write something like 5y, it is a monomial. In fact, if I write something like 10, 10 is also a monomial. Why? Because it is also an algebraic term. In fact, it has a variable there. You are the one that is not seeing the variable. Please also, if your video is lagging behind, you can fast forward it so that it will come to where all of us are. So 10 is the same thing as 10x raised to power 0. So it's also a monomial. So monomials are algebraic terms that are just one, containing only one term. It could be 2x, it could be 3x, it could be whatever. It could be a number. Then we now have what we call polynomials. We are still going to study polynomials later, so I'm going to explain that also when we get there. So a polynomial is an algebraic term that contains is an algebraic expression that contains many algebraic terms. For instance, you can have something like 2x plus 5y. This is a polynomial. You can have something like 2x squared plus 3x plus 10. This is a polynomial. It contains more than one term. So you call any of such algebraic expression a polynomial, an expression that contains more than one term. Then under this polynomial, we now have different types. You have binomial. Bi, that's 2. So when an algebraic expression contains only 2 terms, you call it a binomial. We are still going to do binomial expansion as a topic in Maths 101. And then you have trinomials, quadrinomials, and the rest of that. But all of them are classified as polynomials. Okay? Okay, I'm currently explaining, I'm trying to introduce, quadratic equations, but I'm trying to give you a background of how we got there. Okay, so I'm trying to give you a background of how we got there, that we have types of expressions. We can group expressions according to the number of terms they have, and so we have monomials, polynomials, and the rest. Then we can also group expressions according to the power of the unknown, according to the power or degree of the unknown. Degree now means the highest power of the unknown. So if we group polynomials in this form, we also have different types there. And what are the different types that we have? Okay, so under here we now have what we call linear polynomials or equations. We have what we call quadratic. That is where quadratic now came in. Are you with me now? So that's where quadratic now came in. So what is linear? Linear is when the highest power is 1. Let me give you an example of that. Let me remove this one for now. So for instance, if I have x plus 5 equal to maybe 10, whatever, this is a linear equation. Somebody is saying, are you going to be going over trinomial expansion? No, we are only going to look at binomial expansion. Okay, so this is linear because the power of x here is 1. Remember, we have done indices in class, so you know what power means. So the power of x here is 1. If I give you another example, let's say 5x minus 2 equal to 8. This is a linear equation. The power of x here is also 1. So even if I add y here, this is also linear because the power of y here is also 1. But we are not interested in many variables, so we are just looking at one variable now. Now the second one, which is where we are going, is quadratic equations. So these are now equations that have the highest power of the variable to be 2. When the highest power, that's degree. When the degree means highest power of variable. When it is 2, then you say that that equation is a quadratic equation. An example is if I have x squared plus 5x minus 2 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation because there is x raised to power 1 and there is x raised to power 2. So whenever you have the highest power of your variable to be 2, then you say that the equation is a quadratic equation. I don't know if you are following me. If you are following me, you can as well give a thumbs up so that I will know that you are with me. Okay, so that's how we got quadratic equations. Equations with the highest power of the variable as 2. You can give many examples there. I can give another example, say 2x squared minus 3x plus 5 equal to 0. This one is also a quadratic equation. And I want to ask a question now. Look at this C. If I have something like x squared plus 1 equal to 0, is this a quadratic equation? Or let me not use plus 1. Let me use minus 1 because of where we are going. Even though plus 1 is also okay, but let me use minus 1. Is x squared minus 1 a quadratic equation? Somebody says he's not following. If x squared minus 1 is a quadratic equation, let me see your response. Yes or no? Is x squared minus 1 a quadratic equation? Chukwebuka Okechukwu said he's not following. Don't worry, I'll get you now. Let me get responses first. Is x squared minus 1 a quadratic equation? Yes or no? Alright. Okay. Madu Elijah says yes. Yeah, of course it's a quadratic equation. So now let me give a summary of what I explained, Chukwebuka, so that you can follow me. I said that a quadratic equation is an equation that is of this form: ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. What does that mean? It means that you have an equation where you have a variable, say x, and your x has a highest power of 2. So, and we have given examples. Let's give even more examples here. Something like 10x squared plus 2x plus 5 equal to 0. This one is a quadratic equation here. The highest power of x is 2. And even though there is x power 1, and that makes it a complete quadratic equation. So you can have many other examples. So we said that the general form is this. In that case, for this example, our a is equal to 10, our b is equal to 2, and our c is equal to 5. So whenever you have an equation, all right, thank you, Ifechuku, Angel, Oluchi Vivian, Favor Goodness. Yeah, I can see all your responses. Chinemerum, Onyeka, Onyekwelu Lapuluchuku. Lapuluchuku should be a course rep. Yeah, I think I remember that name. Chidima, okay, and the rest of you. Beautiful. So in this example, our a is 10, our b is 2, and our c is 5. So any equation that behaves that way is a quadratic equation. So let me bring back this example I gave here. Here we have x squared minus 1 equal to 0. So please, what is the a for this one? For this example, what is our a? For this particular example, what is our a, what is our b, and what is our c? Okay, somebody is saying that it is not a quadratic equation. That's IJ. IJ, let me quickly respond to your comment. Yes, it's a quadratic equation. You know why? Because the highest power of the variable here is 2. Once that is satisfied, it is a quadratic equation. It does not matter whether the other two parts are there. In fact, if you have something like x squared equal to 5, this is a quadratic equation. Ijoma, I can see your response. Yes. If you have x squared equal to 5, it's a quadratic equation. You know why? Because the highest power of x is 2. Once it is there, then it is a quadratic equation already. Are you with me now? So the only thing is that, like in this case here, the question I just asked you people now, your a here is the coefficient of x squared. Like here now, the coefficient of x squared is 10. And the coefficient of x here is your b. Let me go up a little bit. Your b is the coefficient of x alone. And in this example, it is 2. And your c is the one that does not have x at all. And that is your 5. So, but for this example here, your a is 1. Your b is not there. So, but Joseph, you said that b is minus 1. I refuse. Your b is 0, not minus 1. Your b is 0, not minus 1. So because there is no x, your b is the coefficient of x. Let me write it again down here. You have to get this before we move on. Let me write it here. You have ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. Your a is the coefficient of x squared. That's the number standing with x squared is your a. The number standing with your x is your b. The number standing alone without any x is your c. That is when your right hand side is 0. So let's go back here now. So in this first example here, my a is 10 because that is the number standing with x squared. My b is 2 because that is the number standing with x alone. And my c is 5 because that is the number standing without x at all. Chidera, okay, just pay attention. You will follow. I will recap so that you will follow. Why this she? Where is the she coming from? Are you having any she? Let me increase my own sound. So let's go back here now. My sound is very clear from my phone. Where are you getting? Okay, Joseph. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful. You now following what we are saying. Okay, so now if you now come down to this example 2, let's go back there again. Let me remove here. So you can clearly see that your x squared has only 1 as the coefficient because there is nothing standing with it. So it's just multiplied with 1. So your a there is 1. And your b is not here at all. So your b is equal to 0. And your c is what is minus 1. I think there's my friend that said that b is minus 1. Yes, Somi said that b is minus 1. No, it is your c that is minus 1. Okay, so we can give other examples like that. Let me go up a little bit. So let's take another example. Assuming that you have something like let's say let me bring from here. Okay, look at this one. 5x squared minus x minus 7 equal to 0. So for this example now, what is our a? What is our a? As you hear me, you respond. For example 3, what is our ABC? Our ABC. Go ahead and put your comments. Our ABC. Our ABC. Yeah, Okoye Adobe. Yes, our B is 0 for that one. For number 3, what is our ABC? Number 3, once I get 2 or so response, I will move on. Okay. Chidera, A is 5. What is B? Joseph says B is is 1. Joe, is it 1 or minus 1? Is it 1 or minus 1? Chidera, you can write your response at once instead of breaking it. Okay, Joseph, check. Is your B 1 or minus 1? Is your C 7 or minus 7? Okay, Joseph says C is minus 7. How about B? Course refs still be picking because I'm still seeing some attendance being dropped. Okay, Sonny says A is 5, B is minus 7, C is 0. No. Look at it again. Who am I with? Chinamelon says A is 5. Okoye says, sorry, okay, Kechidera says B is 1. Is it 1 or minus 1? Favor goodness, A is 5. Chukwebuka, A is 5, correct? As a gift, is it, we are looking for coefficients. It will not carry X. It won't carry X. Look at your solution again. Okay, Charles Blessing. Chidera says C is minus 7, correct? Charles Blessing, A is 5, B is 0, C is 7. No, B is not 0. There is B there. Look at it again. Angel says A is 5, B is X. It cannot be X. It has to be a number. The coefficient of X. What is the meaning of coefficient? Okay, Chidima says A is 5, B is minus 1, C is minus 7. Beautiful. Nwa Mmadu Elijah. Beautiful. Israel Onyebuchukwu, your A is correct. B and C not correct. Good luck. A is X squared. How? We are looking at the coefficient, the number standing with X squared. Please look at it again. Sunday Tony, A minus 5, B minus 1, sorry, A 5, B minus 7, C minus 0. No. Alright, I think I've responded to many. Okay, Joseph Pebbles, your answer is now correct now. IJ, A5, B0, C minus 7. B cannot be 0. There is B here. Once you see X that has power of 1, that means there is B there. B is not 0. Okay. So I think I've seen many responses. I will still collect your responses at the end of the class. But let's go together now. So our A is the coefficient of X squared. The number standing with X squared. And that is 5. Our B is the number multiplying. That's coefficient of X. And what is the number standing with X here? Remember, it is minus X. So the number standing with it will be minus 1 because there is an invisible 1 there. So please take note of that. And then your C is minus 7. If the sign here is plus, then your C is positive 7. But once you see a minus sign, then it will carry that minus together. I'm saying this for those of us that wrote positive. Even for your B. Your B is carrying minus. So it will definitely go together with the minus there. The coefficient will be together with the minus. Okay? So it can only be positive if the sign here is plus. And so on and so forth. I think with that, we have done a little justice to the introduction to our quadratic equation. So we are left with now looking at the parts. And I think that also covered for the parts of quadratic equation. That is how to get your A, your B, and your C. Okay. Oji Manuel says, sir, I no get. Okay. So maybe we should take some more examples there to make it a little bit clearer. So let me take another example. Oji Manuel, please pay attention with this. You are going to help me. So if you have something like 3x squared plus 2x plus 8 equal to 0, your A is 3, your B is what? Your B is 2. That's the coefficient of x. Your A is the coefficient of x squared, the number multiplying x squared, and that is 3. The number multiplying x is 2. That's your B. This is your A. And then the one standing alone is your C, and that is 8. Here your 8 is positive, your C is positive. All right, so but let me put this other one side by side. Assuming you have 3x squared minus 2x minus 8, or let me even put minus in front here, everything equal to 0. What do you think will be our A? Our A here will be minus 3. Our B will also be minus 2 because the number is negative. And our C will also be minus 8 because the number is also negative. Are you getting the point now? Okay, so where is my Oji Manuel? Does it make sense now? Oji Manuel, can you respond now? Does it make sense now? Okay, so that we can move on to the next thing. Oji Manuel, I'm still waiting for your response. Okay, and then Raplu just talked about invincible. Yes, if I have x like this, what the coefficient of x is 1 because x is the same thing as 1 times x. So the coefficient is 1. If I have minus x, the coefficient of, okay, Ikechukwu says understood. Beautiful. If I have minus x, the coefficient of minus x is minus 1 because minus x is the same thing as minus 1 times x. If you multiply this, you will get minus x. You can use numbers to check it for yourself. If you have minus 5, it is the same thing as minus 1 times 5. You can use your calculator to check what I just said now. Minus 1 times 5 is minus 1. So the coefficient is minus 1. So if I have minus anything, if it is minus a, the coefficient is minus 1. If I have, then that's why if it is minus 2a now, then the coefficient is minus 2. So I think it is that minus x that is giving us issues. Have I seen anything from, what's his name again? Yeah, Oji Manuel. I've not seen anything from you. I don't know if you are up to this point. If you have gotten it now, please let me know. Right, so that is what we have. So look at this example, everybody. I want everybody to help me with this. What is your A, B, and C for this equation? Assuming you have something like 8x squared equal to 0. What is your A, B, and C? Look at that one. I'm going to give another one. What if we have something like 8x squared equal to, let's say you have equal to 7. Remember that you can only get your A, B, and C when your right hand side is 0. So if it is not 0, you need to take whatever that is there to the left hand side before determining your A, B, and C. So let me allow you to. How is it doing advertisements? It's not supposed to do. It's not supposed to do. If it does, just skip it. It's not supposed to do. This is a live class. It's not supposed to. Sorry about that. Okay. So, it's not supposed to do. It's a live section. Okay. Number 5. Okay, I'm seeing responses. Please, Chidera Okeke, try to put your answer together. Stop typing it differently. It will make me not to pick it at once. I can see your A, your B, your C, and that is correct. Your A is 8, your B is 0, your C is 0. You see, you are getting it now. Joseph Pebbles, that's beautiful. You're getting it now. Oluchi Vivian, beautiful. Okay, somebody said that's number 6. Please put the correct number, please. Please put the correct number. My head is full now. Yeah, Chukwebuka. Okay, you are the one that said that. Bernard, you are correct. Oji Manuel, okay. Yeah, I've seen your response. Beautiful. So help me to do this number 5 and 6. Remember I said for 6, you have to move that 7 over first before you do whatever you're doing. Beautiful. I can see Felicity Norma for number 6. Okay, number 5, sorry. A is, where did you get 5? Felicity, where did you get 5? B is -1, C is -7. Okay, maybe it's the upper one you are referring to. Please, Felicity, please, what do you call it? You need to fast forward your video so that you will come up to page. You're far away. Okay, you're responding to old questions. All right. Muhammad Elijah, beautiful. Oluchi Vivian, your answer for number 6 is not correct. Look at it again. Number 6, Joseph, beautiful for number 6. Look at Joseph's answer for number 6. Chidimma, beautiful for number 5. Whisper of hope, beautiful for number 5. And number 6, beautiful. Yeah, Choma Okeke, correct. Precious, correct for number 6. And so on. Amazing. I'm seeing people that have our special badge. That's amazing. Where is this person? Precious Ifnaya. You see these people that answer Precious, they are beautiful people. How did I get it? For which one? Precious, I'll respond to you. You are bearing our badge. It means that you have joined in our membership. You are supporting the ministry. That's beautiful. Thank you very much. What did you ask? Please ask your question. How did I get which one? Refer to the number. Yeah, second one, Chidinma Columbus. That's correct. That's correct. Okay, so let's move on. So for number 5, yeah, our A is 8. That's the coefficient of x squared is correct. And our B is 0. There is no x. You only have x squared. There is no x. So the coefficient is automatically 0. And there is no C. There is no constant. There is nothing that is a constant here. So it's actually 0. Alright. And then for number 6, you need to first of all take this 7 to the other side. Okay, maybe that's what Precious is asking. If you take it to the other side, you will get 8x squared. 7 coming over will become -7 equal to 0. And so your A will still be 8. Your B will now be 0. There is no x. Once you don't have x, your B is 0. And then your C is the one that is called a constant. It does not have any variable at all. So, and that is -7. Okay. So, and that's correct for those of you that responded. And if your response I said was not correct, please just make the correction now. All right. So that is for introduction and the parts of a quadratic equation. Now we will move over to how to solve. So we are just going to look at the methods of solving. Maybe we'll do one example, and then I think our time is ticking. In the next 10 minutes, 16 minutes, we are over. Okay, so methods of solving quadratic equation. Let's go. Exactly, Oluchi Vivian. I see your question. Very correct. Once there is no x, it means that the coefficient is 0. That's your B. Once there is no constant, that's the one that does not have x at all, it means that your C is 0. And then, of course, there will always be x squared. If there is no x squared, that equation is not quadratic equation. Did you hear what I just said now? If there is no x squared, that equation is not quadratic. They must be x squared for that equation to be quadratic. Alright, so let's move on. So methods of solution of solving quadratic equation. Okay, if we are together, please you can give a thumbs up so that I will be sure that we are together up to this point. And if you have any question, always drop it. I love the way you are dropping your questions. I really don't know why they are showing advertisement. YouTube is becoming mad. Maybe one of our next classes we will try TikTok. Let's see, maybe that one is better. Joseph, I'm sorry about that. There shouldn't be. I'm actually following this class with a phone, and it's not showing advert on my own. I don't know why it's showing on you people's own. It's not supposed to show advert. I'm sorry about that. Okay, thank you. For number 6, 8 is A is 8, B is 0. Yes, you are correct. Victor, you are correct. But you need to fast forward so that you will get to the front where we are. You're a little bit backward. Okay, so under the methods of solution, we have 3 methods that we are going to look at. Yay, that's Miss my favor. Let me give you like, you can see I actually joined with another of my accounts. The name there I think is Sapresh. You will still know that I'm the one. Okay, so favor, thank you very much for the gift. Okay, factorization method, that's the first method. After factorization method, we have our okay, so we have our completing square method. Ordinarily, let me say this here, all these methods are not necessary. Like, it is your choice to use any method to solve if we ask you to solve in exam. But the reason we are showing you these 3 methods is that in future you will need it, especially next semester when we will go to Maths 102. You will need this guy. By God's grace, I'll still be the one that will teach you. I don't know, don't mind me. So formula method is the 3rd method. Okay, so today we may just touch quadratic factorization. That's the 3rd method. Beautiful. I can see the thumbs up showing that we are following. Rain, okay, inside this December. Wow, that's beautiful. Sir, please check the network from your end. Yeah, it was showing poor. Let me check back. Maybe it's okay. It's excellent now. It's much better now. I think so. It's showing excellent now. Sorry about that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Okay. So the methods of solution, like I said, there are 3 methods we have that we are going to look at. There is also a 4th one, which we call graphic method, but we will not bother so much. I will just show a little bit. Sorry, I think it's a little bit better, but let's just try to touch factorization a little bit and then we'll close for today. By God's grace, tomorrow's network will be much better. I will use a router tomorrow. I'm hotspotting from my phone, which I believe should be very good, but tomorrow I will use a router so that it will be stronger. Okay, so for factorization method, that is the first method we want to look at. What is it all about? Factorization method, I think I've used it in class. So it talks about, let's take it that we have one example. Let's use an example to explain it. So assuming that we have x squared plus maybe 5x plus 6 equal to 0. How do we solve this? Okay, yeah, it is. Don't worry, we're almost done. We're almost done for today. I thought saying only me. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so now what do you do for factorization? Look at the steps. Very simple. Use your A. Let me write the steps. Use A to or let me write it this way. The first thing is you should do A times C. Then the second thing is you look for two factors of A. Sorry, the two factors of A times C that will, when you add them, you will get your B, and when you multiply, you will get your A times C. Let me explain it using this example. Okay, network is now better. All right. I think it actually started from me. Sorry about that. So let me use this example to explain this. I think we have done this in class. So what you should do is pick your A in this example. Your A is 1. Your A is 1. Your B is 5. And your C is 6. So pick your A and multiply it by your C. So you do 1 times C, which is 6. And that will give you 6. Then you will look for two numbers that you will multiply to get this 6. And when you add, you will get 5, which is your B. So what are those two numbers? The two numbers will be 2 and 3. The two numbers will be 2 and 3. So when you get the two numbers, if you check, 2 plus 3 is 5, and 2 times 3 is 6. So when you get the two numbers, you will, I showed you the shortest thing to do. Very simple. Just open two brackets. Okay, Precious, you're following now. Beautiful. Okay, Chinedu Patrick. No problem. By God's grace, we will see. Okay. Yeah, King C, thank you. Chi Gozrim, thank you. That's Precious namesake. Nazi Favor, thank you. So I said open two brackets this way and put your X here. Put another X here and then equate to 0. Then carry these two numbers that you have gotten and put, so what of 6 and 1? Yes, 6 and 1, if you multiply 6 and 1, you will get 6. But if you add 6 and 1, you will not get 5. Did you see why 6 and 1 will not work? Chidera Okeke. I like that question. That's very beautiful. So 6 and 1 will not work because the sum will not give you 5. And Whisper, I'm seeing you're writing minus 2 and minus 3. Beautiful. Minus 2 and minus 3, if you multiply, you will get 6. But if you add, you will not get 5. If you add minus 2 and minus 3, you will get minus 5. So that will not give you 5. So it will not work as well. So what would actually work is 2 and 3. Okay, so just carry your 2 and put it here. Remember that this 2 is positive here. So you just put plus 2 here. The 3 is also positive. You put plus 3. And you are done. You are done. So what do you do next? Just solve. So either that x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. Okay. And so, okay, Ikechukwu is saying minus 6 and 1. Like you wrote there, you wrote 5. Minus 6 and 1 is not 5. Minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. And again, minus 6 times minus 1 is not even 6. It is minus 6. Did you see that? Okay, all right. Okay, Whisper, you're talking about final answer. That's beautiful. Thank you. So our final answer is x equal to minus 2 or x equal to minus 3. That's very correct. Thank you. Thank you. That's correct. Okay, so that's how to do factorization. Now, remember this method I used here is because the coefficient of x squared is 1. That's your a. So if your a is not 1, remember there is something you would do. But before we go there, everybody help me. Sir, yes, we have it in class. Okay, yes, we have done it in class. Okay, Angel says there is a question. But before I explain to Angel, I'm going to drop this question. So everybody help me to do this one. X squared minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. Almost the same thing, but I just changed your 5 to minus. Everybody, let me write it in yellow or in green. Let me use green. X squared minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So let's do that very fast. Okay, so Angel, where are you? You said you didn't understand. While I'm waiting for the response of others, which you will still do, let's look at it. I said that you have x squared plus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So what do? I said use your a, which is 1, to multiply your c, which is 6, and keep it somewhere. So let me assume I'm keeping it here. My a is 1 times 6. That is 6. Angel, I hope you are with me. Okay? Then you now ask yourself, what are the numbers, the two numbers that I will multiply to get 6 and I will add to get my b, which is 5. So see how you are going to do it. Write out all the factors of 6, and they include 1, 2, 3, and 6. So you will now check how you will combine it. You also write out their negatives: minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, and minus 6. So if you write the positive, you write the negative. So you check how. So 1 times 6 is 6, but is 1 plus 6 equal to 5? The answer is no. 2 times 3 is 6. Is 2 plus 3 equal to 5? The answer is yes. So that means you pick this. You can also check other ones. Minus 1 times minus 6 is 6, but is minus 1 plus minus 6 equal to 5? The answer is no. So the only one that actually answered the question is 2 and 3. Angel, did you get it now? Okay, so Angel, I'll be waiting for a response while I receive my solutions. Okay. People have started responding since. Yeah, Whisper 2 and 3. Whisper, I didn't pick your name. Don't worry, we will chat more on WhatsApp, so I'll get to pick your names. I'll get to save your numbers. In fact, there's a way I relate with my students very closely. I don't know if you people would be that good human beings so that we can relate that way. So if the answer is yes, after the class, you can, the same way you dropped your name on this chat, you can drop your name in the WhatsApp group. That's the general WhatsApp group. I am in the group. Just put your name and your department. I will save your number so that I'll be able to respond to some of you according to your name. All right. It makes me relate with my students more closely. So Whisper, beautiful, correct. Vivian, correct. Choma Okeke, correct. Rapulo, correct. Choma Okeke, you've responded before. Precious, this your minus 2 and minus 3. Is it the first answer, the first example, or the one I gave as exercise? Madu Elijah, 1 and 6. No, 1 and 6 cannot do that. Look at it again. Look at it again. Ikechukwu 2 and 3 is correct. Ifechukwu correct. Evangeline correct. Nkiru correct. Joseph correct. Holy Ghost, my head. All right. I see -1 and -6. Chimjika, no. I see -2 or 3. Vivian, no. I see 2 or -3. Victoria, no. Look at it again. Okay. So the answer is 2 and 3. Please try to make your corrections. Now I have a question. Chidera says, sir, the two products supposed to be -5 and not 5. Which one are you talking about? The two products supposed to be -5 and not 5. I'm not sure. For number 2, your product will still be 6. It's not even 5. It's the sum that will be -5. It's the sum that will be -5. Okay, Angel says she understood now. Alright, beautiful. You're welcome. Okay. Is the sum that should be -5. Let's do it together and we will close here. Okay, quickly, let's look at it. So our A is 1, our B is -5, and our C is 6. Is everybody here together? Yes. So what do? Use your A and multiply your B. Let me do it up here. Sorry, I multiply your C, not your B. So if I do that up there, I'm going to have 1 times 6, which is still 6. So I'm still looking for two numbers that will multiply to give me 6, and we add to give me -5. And the two numbers will be -2 and -3. Why? Because -2 times -3 is 6. And the sum, you can use calculator to be checking all these things. The sum is -5. Another one that will give you -5 is -6 and 1. But the sum is -5. But the product is not 6. It must satisfy the two conditions. The sum must be equal to your B, and the product must be equal to what you have here. So it must satisfy the two of them. All right. So now that we have gotten the two of them as -2 and -3, remember what I said. Open your two brackets, equal to 0. Put your x. Then since both of them are negative, then you put -2 here. Then you put -3 here. So either x -2 is 0 or x -3 is 0. Therefore, our x is 2 or 3. If you transfer -2 to the other side, it will become +2, and the same thing with your -3. Okay, so let me look at some comments. So does this mean we change the sign after solving? Yes, by the time you transfer it to the other side, it will become negative. That's how the sign will change. If it is negative, it will become positive. If it is positive, it will become negative. Okay, so Ijoma say, but we are having -5. That's what I'm saying. The sum can give you -5, but is the product equal to 6? If the product is not 6, then it does not satisfy it. It must satisfy the two conditions. The sum must be equal to your B, while the product must be equal to your C. That's the product you got here. It must not even be C. The product you got here, that product must be equal to it. If not, don't use it. Is that correct? Beautiful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think it was a good time having this class with all of you, and I I hope we learned something. So we'll continue another time. Maybe tomorrow we'll agree on the WhatsApp chat. The next class we will have, Joseph, Quadratic made easy. You're welcome. Well understood. Favor, welcome. Thank you. Chi Dokwe Roslyn, you're welcome. Raplu, you're welcome. King C, you're welcome. Now, let me make a request. I don't know if we have all subscribed. Let me make another request. Thank you for all the comments. But as I end